Okay, all right, so we are live. Hey, redesigners, it's Cece from CeCe ReStyled, and today we're gonna do a fun little project that's fairly quick, but you can customize it any way you wish using whatever products you wish. I'm going to be using we're going to be making knobs, okay? So furniture knobs you can use on your furniture. You can even use them on a wood panel to make wall hooks, like a rack that you can hang coats or purses or whatever, scarves on. So you can make, I don't know, whatever you do with knobs. You can use them just decoratively or whatever. Hey, Roz. So sorry I'm late. That's my middle name. I'm always late, so y'all should just know that. But anyways, better late than never. So today we're making knobs, and what you're going to need to do this is some wooden or ceramic knobs. I like the wooden ones better because I feel like the paint and the molds that we're putting on them will stick better to the wood, the bare wood. So these little knobs, I believe they're 1 1/4 inch knobs. You can get them in different sizes, but these I think are 1 1/4 inch, and they're just raw wood knobs. I got them on Amazon. I think like a 25 pack or 50 pack for $8 or something, and they do come with the screws for the back, so you don't need to get those separately. It comes with, comes with it. So you need knobs, molds. I've got some smaller molds. I'm using the fleur-de-lis. There's some smaller little guys on here, and then I've also got curio trinkets that we're going to be using. See all these? Those are perfect for knobs because look, in the example they even show them on knobs. So I mean, they're perfect. They're kind of made for it, perfect size. So you need your molds, your knobs, and I'm going to be pouring them from resin. You can use hot glue, you can use modeling material, air dry clay, whatever you want to do your molds. They're pretty small, so I'm going to be using resin. I like the detail. Since they are so small, I like the detail. And if you're using your resin molds pretty fresh, they're still pliable, so they will fit on the curve of the top of the knob, if that makes sense. I also have my hot glue gun. I like to use Gorilla Glue for attaching anything, and Gorilla Glue specifically, but you can also use, I hear people use E6000, wood glue, things like that. I've never tried wood glue on the resin knobs. I don't know how well that would go, but I mean, I've heard people use that, so I don't have experience. I just use the hot Gorilla Glue because it's my favorite and it works. So I also made this handy dandy little piece of wood that I drilled. So I drilled 1/4 inch holes all over it so that I can keep my knobs on there in the post while I'm working on them. It's so much easier than trying to sit there and fumble around with the knobs with your fingers. And it took me like a few minutes. Okay, it only took me a few minutes to drill some holes in a scrap piece of wood. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So first I want to pour my mold. Well, first and foremost, let's pour our molds, and while we wait for our molds to set, we can go ahead and plug in our little knobs on our wood board. So I'll go ahead and tilt you down. I'm sorry I won't be able to see comments or questions when it's tilted down. It's so rainy here. It's gross. I'm trying to paint stuff. It's not drying, but whatever. It's been rainy lately a lot. So first I'm going to pour my molds, okay, so they can set up while we're loading up our little wooden board with our knobs that we bought on Amazon. So like I said, you want to pick little molds, okay, like little 1-ish inches or 1 1/2 inch probably at the max. That way they'll fit on your mold, on your knobs. But you can you can cut off parts of the mold if you really need to, but I've got these handy dandy measuring cups. They've got all the measuring markers on there in ounces, milliliters, cc's, all of that. But I'm going to use my scale because I prefer to measure by weight when I can. So I'm going to go ahead and weigh out. I'm just going to do a few of these for demonstration. So I'm just going to do like a 1/2 ounce of part A and part B of my epoxy resin. So you want the quick setting epoxy resin. Preferably the quick setting kind. It's got an open time of like 2.5 minutes. So That's plenty of time to pour your molds. You don't want to be waiting overnight to make some knobs, so don't get regular resin. And I'm just going to do an ounce altogether, so a 1/2 ounce of part A and a 1/2 ounce of part B. And I'm using my weight, my scale. I'm measuring by weight. I prefer to measure by weight rather than volume. So I got a 1/2 ounce of part A. Now I need a 1/2 ounce of part B. And then I'm going to mix it together really well. And I like to use, you can use a popsicle stick or a paint stir stick or whatever. I like to use the little sticks that come in transfers because I have tons of them and I can throw them away and not feel bad about wasting. In fact, I'm doing a good thing by reusing them because most people just throw them away, I think. Or, you know, don't really have much use for them. So, I got my part A and part B. Now I'm going to mix them together really, really good. Really, 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 really good. Which won't take long because there's not much in here. And then I'm just going to pour. I like to pour it fairly shallow, so kind of low and slow so I can get in all those details. And obviously you want to make as many as you want to make knobs. I'm just pouring a few for demonstration purposes. Filled that one up a little too much. So I'm just going to take my little transfer stick and kind of scrape it so that it's not all overflowing everywhere. Scrape it into the next mold. Waste not, want not, am I right? All right, so let's just fill in the rest of our molds. Boom, boom. I'm only doing the little ones because they will fit on my knobs. Yeah, overfilled that one too. So let's just scrape it into the next one. Boom. We're not wasting anything, are we? Okay, so once I pour these, it'll just take them a few minutes to set up. I can trash my cup and my stick, and then these will set up in a few minutes. I happen to actually already have some ready for us to use and put on our knobs. Yay! So I went ahead and poured these before I came on so that they would be ready. But still be pliable enough to conform to the surface of our knobs. So let's go ahead and throw some knobs on our little wooden board here that I drilled some holes in. If I can get this open. Okay, so if you get them on Amazon, make sure you get the ones that come with the post. It's just easier that way. And let's just throw some on here real quick. I love these. I love making these knobs because obviously when you're painting custom furniture, it's already custom, but like when you create your own knobs and make them look how you want them to look, it's just another level of customization. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just all the way, you know. And I've done these in patina. I've done these in to look metallic. I've done them to look aged, kind of old world. You can just, you know, the possibilities are really endless, you know, of what kind of looks you can get with customization and all the products that are available to us these days. So I guess I should have already had these on the board, but I'm kind of running late. So isn't this nifty? It's going to work so well. Let me see. Will they attach to metal knobs too? I would think they might, but I would probably prime your metal with an adhesion primer first if you're going to be using metal knobs. Same with the ceramic. I don't know for sure, but I would imagine the ceramic knobs you would want to prime with an adhesion primer first too, because I mean, you don't want to go through the effort of making them and then fall apart. So, you know, I like the bare wood ones for that reason, but if you have some metal ones laying around that you want to use, I would just maybe throw some slick stick or whatever adhesion primer you prefer on, you know, on your knob. So let's just do 2 more of these, and then we'll demonstrate 6 of these. We're going to be painting them with some, well, I'll show you the paints in a minute. Impasto paints, and Art Alchemy paints, which are both acrylic paints from Prima, and they are awesome. They dry quick, they have amazing coverage, and they're just come in all kinds of really fun colors, and I love them. I use them for small things like this. You can use them on canvases and things like that, but I'll show you those in a minute. So let's go ahead and put on our last knob that we're going to do, and then we're going to peel our resin molds out. So they've been sitting for maybe like, I don't know, 15 minutes or so. So they don't take very long to set up at all. And they should be a little bit pliable, like I said, since they're freshly made, and conform to the surface of the knob. See how the top is just a little domed? Let's see. So I'm going to move these out of the way. Move it out of the way and put these here. So this is Curio Trinkets, and I'm just going to pull out 6 of these and show you, just show you which ones we're going to use. So they're kind of like little, I don't want to say flowers, but little like medallions almost, and they're all different. That one kind of looks like a sunflower, doesn't it? So does that one. Just a little bit. Oh, let's see. Let's try this one. I like this one. This one's one of my favorites. Little medallion. So they have really nice detail, and let's see. Do I have 6? I have 6. Are those my favorites? Yeah, I think those are my favorites. We're gonna run with those. Those are the little square ones. Aren't they so pretty? So pretty. So okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and set those aside. And we're going to use our hot glue to put our Gorilla hot glue, I'm sorry, to put our molds directly onto our wooden knobs. Okay, so I like the hot glue using the hot glue to apply the resin knobs because a couple of reasons. A, like I said, Gorilla hot glue is super duper strong. I love it, and I use it for attaching anything I have to attach. Also, the hot glue will kind of reheat your mold a little bit, just enough. If it's too hard and it doesn't want to conform, your hot glue will heat it up just enough to where, see how I'm like pressing it on there and it's actually conforming to the top. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it's fairly rigid and it's just helping it to conform right onto that top. So I'm just going to hold it in place for just a second so the glue can start to set up. And then let me go ahead and let's do this one. Looks like a little flower. Okay, I'm going to press it on and make sure that, you're making contact on the top of the knob. You don't want to have little pieces hanging off that'll snag on things and, possibly break off in the future. So you want to have as much of the back of the mold onto the surface of the knob as you can. Linda, when I press on the mold, it does not affect the detail because it's resin and it's set up. It has set up, so it's not pliable per se. It's not like clay to where you smash it, or Play-Doh where you smash it and it doesn't come back to life. See, it keeps its detail. Now, if you're using air dry clay or modeling material or something like that, and it wasn't all the way set up, then you would probably lose your detail. But with the resin, no, it's good to go. Okay, squeeze in a little bit more glue under there and make sure it's all the way on there. You want to make sure they're on there well. Get rid of your glue strings. I hate glue strings. Bane of my existence. Okay, so we're going to move right along and put on the other ones. Great. Let's go ahead and just put the glue directly on the knob for this one. It shouldn't really make a difference, but keep me from burning my fingers, which happens all the time. All right. So like I said, you want to press press it on there and make sure that, you know, you're trying to bend your mold to the surface, basically. So you don't have like little pieces hanging off. That's not cool to have little pieces hanging off. Okay. All right, 3 more. This one's one of my favorites. This little guy here is one of my favorites. And we'll just glue right on the top of the knob, because why not? Why not? And make sure, press down all our sides and all the surfaces, make sure they get nice and glued down. If you get any hot glue, squeeze out. And I just pick it off with my fingernail. Kind of obnoxious, but there we go. All right, is that on there? Oh, I got that one a little bit crooked. Whoops, but you know, I'm not actually using these. These are for demonstration. So when you make them, if you make them, put them on straight. Don't get it on there crooked. Okay, and let's see. Go ahead and do this little flower guy. One more after this. Then we can paint them. So I'm going to be painting mine. I think I'm going to paint them all black. And then use my metallic paints to do a kind of oil slick kind of look on the iridescent metallic kind of look on the details. So that's what I'm going to be doing. But like I said, you can paint them any color. You can paint them to match your piece of furniture. You can patina them. You can make them look metal. You can make them look, you know, aged or old world. I mean, that's just a few ideas. You can paint them however you wish. Okay, one more. Then we're going to paint. So, in order to paint a base coat on these, because I want just a flat, I'm going to use black, but I just want a flat base coat, flat color, not metallic, for my designs. So I'm going to use the Impasto paints from Prima Marketing, and I'll show you those here in a second. They come in all the colors. All right, so here are those paints. Ah! Pulled my mold right off. It's stuck to my finger. It's ridiculous. Stuck to my hand, I mean. Guess I should just glue the back of the mold directly. I think it seems to stick better that way. So, oh, there we go. There we go. Now it's complying to the surface, that curve on the top better. I'm being a little sloppy today, you guys. Don't be as sloppy as me. Be clean and tidy. Don't be sloppy. I'm so messy. I got hot glue everywhere. Okay, there we go. That's good. That's good. So there's our knobs with our molds on top. And okay, so here is our impasto paints. Okay, these are awesome for painting canvases, like scenery, you know, home decor type, you know, wood panels, signs, knobs. And they come in all these colors, all the beautiful colors. Like you can see all the colors in there. And the impasto paints, they're from Art Alchemy by Prima. They are just like heavy body acrylic paints, so that means they're very thick, and most of the time you can get away with one coat. I'm going to be using black because I'm creating an oil slick kind of look, so I want a black base, and then I'm going to go over it with my metallic paints in a few different colors to give it a sort of a iridescent or chameleon look. And let's go ahead and paint those real quick. It dries very quickly, so we will be able to let them go let them dry real quick, and then we'll just go straight to the metallic oil slick kind of look that we're doing, okay? Oh yeah, no, I'm a messy worker. I can't help it. I work well, but I'm messy. So, I mean, I guess if that's the worst thing that I do, I'll take it. All right. So, I'm just going to use a little art brush here. Just a little art brush like this guy here. And squeeze out a little paint. And we're just going to paint. See, I like this wood board that I made with the holes drilled in it because we can just lift it up and kind of go around the, excuse me, geez, oh Pete. We can go around the base of the knobs, the top of the knobs, get all the details, and we don't have to worry about missing spots or going back over them twice because our fingers were in the way. So it works super, super well. So look at the coverage of this impasto paint. Like it's like, I mean, I'm not going to have to do a second coat. It's kind of awesome. It's super awesome. It's so thick. So super duper thick. And it dries super fast too, which is my favorite because I'm impatient. I'm just going to admit it, okay? I'm kind of impatient. I like when I'm working on things and I'm in the zone, I don't want to quit and wait for things to dry. I mean, you have to sometimes, but I want to keep going. I want to keep making progress. So, yeah, I'm a little impatient. I'll admit that. I'm admitting a lot of faults today, you guys. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell my secrets. Okay, so we'll just paint. I'll just paint a few of these. I'm not going to paint every single one because you'll get the idea with a couple of them. But so that's the impasto paint that covers super well. Look how good that covers. Isn't that awesome? Let me see. I can't hear you. Okay, I'm sorry if it sounds like some people can hear me, so I'm not sure. You might want to maybe turn the volume up or I don't know. Exit out, come back in. I have to do that sometimes when I'm watching videos. I have to leave the video and come back to it. All right, so we're just gonna paint on. Okay, you know what? I don't know what's going on here, but I think my resin and my hot glue on this has never happened before. And I put these on with hot glue all the time, so I don't know what the deal is. It's pretty, it's been pretty rainy out, so it's really damp in here, so I don't know what's going on. But my molds aren't wanting to stick, so that's awesome. Let's try super glue. I'm going to try super glue, see if that'll work for now. I've literally never had my molds pop off with hot glue, so I don't know what the deal is. I'm going to blame the damp weather because this is a first. Anyways, things happen and we just roll with it, right? Just roll with it. That's all you can do. Improvise and just keep on making your progress. Boom. Okay, so we're going to let that dry for a minute. We'll just go ahead and move on to this guy right here. Go ahead and paint him. Hopefully he's not going to pop off. What a bummer. Good thing I'm not using these. But, I mean, I guess it makes sense. I'm having a pretty bad week, so, I mean, why wouldn't I just, you know, ruin my knob on a video? Because that's the kind of week I'm having, you guys. It's really awesome. Life is great. All right. Make sure I got all my, oops, sorry. I don't know if you could see that. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I got all of my spots in the details up underneath the top of the knob, the neck, I guess I would call it, of the piece. Sometimes it's easy to miss up underneath there, so gotta just take an extra glance and make sure you got all the spots. I love these impasto paints. They're freaking amazing. but I like my paint thick, so. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and roll with these. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and paint the top of this guy. Try not to ruin him, but I'm going to paint the top of this guy, and then I'm going to grab my metallic paints, and I'm going to go ahead and do like, I'm going to show you how to do a kind of, what did I call it, oil slick or chameleon or iridescent kind of paint job on the tops of these, but you can do it on any molds, or you can do it on details on your furniture. I mean, it doesn't have to be this specific project, but it's very easy. You just got to use 3 colors of metallic paint, and you can get a oil slick kind of look. Could do it with colored waxes as well. Even paint, all the same, as long as you use, you know, 3 kind of rainbow colors, which I will show you in a second. Okay, so we're gonna roll with these 3 knobs. I could just go ahead and throw some some metallic gilding wax on the details of the knobs, and be done. You know, silver, gold, whatever. I could do that, or I could leave them, or I could do like a white glaze or a white wax, and just for a different look. But I'm going to use my acrylic metallic paints. These are also from Prima Marketing. I'm going to use purple, orange, and green, if I can find purple, orange, and green. So when I'm making an oil slick or iridescent kind of look, I like to use these 3 colors. Now these paints come in like all the colors under the sun, and they're so pretty. It's so hard to decide which one to use. And I'm just kidding, I lied. These are not the metallic paints. These are the Sparks paints, which are basically the same. They're just a little sparklier, which, I mean, that can't be bad, right? Like, that's not bad. So whether you're using gilding waxes, regular paint, or, you know, metallic or iridescent paint, I like to use purple, orange, and green to create like a oil slick or iridescent kind of look. So I'm going to start with 1 color, paint it on, 2nd color, and then 3rd color, obviously, and just kind of do a rainbow kind of effect. So I'm basically taking a little art brush, and I'm not putting a whole heck of a lot of paint on the brush, okay? I'm just going to kind of load it up and then get the excess off on the side. And then I'm going to kind of dab or almost dry brush the paint on, because I still want some of that black to show through, right? Creates the shadows. It is so humid here, you guys. It's been raining all day, and so I'm waiting for a piece to dry, and the paint is just not drying. It's driving me nuts. I cannot make progress on all my custom works when my paint is not drying. It's driving me crazy. And usually these impasto paints are dry really quickly, and they're actually taking quite a bit longer to dry than usual too, which is fine. We can still move on with our Sparks paints, but just wish it would stop being so damp and rainy. I don't like it. Ugh, it affects my mood. Makes me bummed when it's all like this outside. So I did my purple, which is called Iris Potion. That's a sweet name for a paint. Iris Potion. And then we're going to go ahead, I'll go ahead and show you that, and then we're going to do our green next. So there's the Iris Potion on there. See how sparkly it is? Sparkly, yes, sparkly is amazing. I love anything sparkly is my jam. Okay, so we're going to move on to the green, which is Fairy Wings. That's a cool name too. I don't know where they come up with these names, but they sound good to me. And so we're going to load up our brush and kind of wipe the excess off on the side and just kind of almost dry brush our fairy wings on. And you want to overlap the paints just a bit. Just a bit. Okay, so I'm getting my fairy wings kind of dabbed on there. So I've got some of my black paint showing through to create the shadows and the depth. Okay, so I'll show you fairy wings. Pretty green, such a pretty green. Okay, so for our oil slick kind of look, we've got purple, green, and then the last color we're going to do is the orange, which is called Ginger Magic. Wow, Ginger Magic. Okay, so one more brush, and we're going to just kind of almost dab on our Ginger Magic. I love these sparks and metallic little paint pots. They're so great. Perfect for little small projects or, detail things. Okay, so there's our orange. Ginger Magic. Okay, so that's our last color. So these are my knobs with the kind of iridescent or oil slick kind of look. Like I said, you use whatever colors, paints, patina, whatever gilding waxes you want to use to create whatever's going to match your piece that you're using them on. But I'll show you these up close, and I'm going to let them dry. But anyways, that's them. So don't they look kind of, they're sparkly for sure. Oh gosh, I just got my hair in paint again. How do I'm going to get off here because hair in paint, technical difficulties. I'm having a day, you guys. But anyways, so there is my knobs with the kind of chameleon look, oil slick effect. Fun, right? Fun stuff. So if you want a small project or you want to just, customize your furniture a little bit more, you can do something like this, and it's a lot of fun. Usually when you're not having a bad day, it's more fun, but, we all have them, so whatever. But anyways, let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to hop off here, so I hope that you all have a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye.